I'm the Flat Rate Master, and we're going live. So what you guys got going on? Hey, Keith, what you up to? So, in case you can't tell what I'm doing. How is everybody doing? It is warm. It got up to mid-70s today. Hello from Australia. Programming a Yoda, huh, Keith? Sounds fun. Amarillo, Texas. Yeah, that'd be my backyard. Yeah, I hope no snow comes here in Georgia. What's up, Pennsylvania? What kind of toolbox do I have at home? A really small one. All I do is, home repairs. What up, Benny? If I'm fixing stuff, I'm going to the shop, so I don't have much in the way of tools down here. I am located in Atlanta, Georgia. Technically, the suburbs of Atlanta is where I live. I commute to Atlanta. Oh, joy, Keith. You always have the fun. Yes, traffic is nuts. Caden, I traded it in. It's now in the hands of a collector. I do not have room for it at my house. It would have wind up going into storage and gotten even more beat up. Hey, Zach. So I don't have any place to put it. So better somebody that's going to enjoy it than it's just sitting a storage locker and just get beat up every now and then. Yeah, good luck on not getting killed in Mexico City there, Keith. You got a better shot in Atlanta. Youch, 350. That sucks. Chad, I don't know what you mean about short sleeves versus long sleeves. For us, the guys up front wear long sleeves. The guys in the back just all wear short sleeves. We have the option of getting shirts with long sleeves, but nobody cares. I had it for literally 20 years. S&A, you're driving to Atlanta? That'll be fun. Ray, yeah, that's not going to be fun. Moving a 84-inch Epic. I used it on a radiator, pulling a radiator out on a Jeep Wrangler, and it came in handy. Talking about the Snap-on extended reach ratchet, came in handy because they were all the way down, and I didn't have to stick my hand all the way down to get the radiator out. I was doing a harmonic balancer on it, but since then I haven't used it. I haven't really. It's been a lot of weird stuff at the shop lately. Yep, Glenn, it is nice out. It's already starting to get hot, so. Yeah, Daryl, when it comes to working on my stuff, I just do it at the shop. I mean, stay late. Aaron, I have lived in Georgia for 32 years. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So, Roswell BMW. Smoking a Tatuaje Monster Series, and this is the Michael. This is this year's Monster. Michael, my top pick for cordless ratchets is Milwaukee. Whiskey Cousin. Cool. I need to get back to Milwaukee sometime in the future, but I don't have a whole lot of family left there. But, you know, tequila. Notice how I pronounced that right there, Al. I'm over in Douglasville, by the way. I'll bring some too there. Milwaukee kicks, I mean, I'm not saying anything bad about the Snap-on ratchets. They're very good. But when it comes to warranty, money, you know, it's a easier choice. JC, I work with two guys that graduated out of UTI, one out of Florida, one out of Chicago. One almost went to the STEP program. Well, I live in Georgia, Al. It's like, Daryl, what I am sipping on is Coke Zero, not a sponsor, but I would love it if they would sponsor. And I am smoking a Tatuaje Michael, the part of the Monster series. It was, last year's release. Angry Yoda Tech, I didn't say anything bad about them. The only thing is they're expensive and they have a short warranty. They're good ratchets, though. I don't have any experience with the half-inch, but I believe it is just the 3/8 with a half-inch anvil. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend the Milwaukee. Unless you're talking the impact, then for sure the Milwaukee. The Milwaukee on the bigger impact side of it, there's no contest. Matt Kraft, I appreciate it very much. Caden, what's your favorite toolbox you've had? It's going to be a tie between the Revel X and the Bel Air. Loved the style of the Bel Air. Love the style of the Revel X. Revel X might get a little bit of a beat on that, considering it has more room. A lot of guys have had great success going through the STEP program. Why are you mad, Benny? Daryl, it's a weekday. I stick to the soft stuff on the weekdays. Well, between that and the I got a redneck neighbor, in case you can't tell. If you didn't hear the burnout, Oz, between the Corvette and the tools. Did you get a ball peen hammer, by the way? Carson, hey, Canada. Angry Toyota Tech, Angry Yoda Tech. That's the thing is once you get into a battery system, it can be, you're kind of stuck. I mean, you've invested in batteries, chargers, and all that, and it's hard to, it's like the mafia. It's hard to get out. Joseph, my night's going great. Got off work a little bit early. Billed 10 hours, so can't complain about that. Zach, what J2534 box do you recommend? Something made by DrewTech. The Cardac, or they're rebranded. They rebrand a bunch. Cardac has the best support, so definitely one of those. Let me scroll back up here. Cool, Chad. Yeah, redneck neighbors are the best. Guy has a diesel truck. He works with he has a service truck, and he has the open exhaust kit on it, and comes in. Alan Michael asked, did you smoke cigarettes before you started smoking cigars? I'm a smoker, and for health reasons I need to quit. I've been thinking about smoking a cigar or two a day versus 2 packs of Marlboro Reds. Technically I started smoking gas station cigars first, then went to cigarettes, and that is how I quit smoking cigarettes, is I went to cigars. The biggest thing you can do is smoke good stuff. Don't smoke the gas station stuff, and get off them completely and wait a while, as long as you can. You go back, those cigarettes taste horrible. They taste like chemicals. Cigars are just tobacco. The government mandates they put stuff in cigarettes, and the taste is god awful. There's no way I'd ever go back to cigarettes. All right, so what up, Keith? Keith Perkins, by the way. Aaron, does the shop have any lube techs? One, the FNG. He's not just strictly a lube tech. He does brakes and minor repairs, but he's our lube guy. Yeah, I don't think anybody here is going to sponsor you, though, Glenn. Good techs are hard to find. Actually, lube techs are probably the hardest. You're not paying them a lot, and they got to show up every day. Would you recommend a KRA 4813? I don't specifically know what exact toolbox that is, but that'd be the Classic series, I believe, or the Heritage. It's going to be a good toolbox as far as construction. I don't know what size it is. Look at what your needs are, and in the future, as far as the near future, if it's going to be enough room. If it's not going to be enough room for you to grow into, then you probably need to go with something a little larger. Well, Jeff, thank you. I appreciate that. Keith Perkins, I'm doing good. Christopher Rodowich, I've never been a fan of Mitchell. I know some guys are going to go, personal preference, but I've never really liked Mitchell. I hate their wiring diagrams. I've run into so many times where they are completely wrong. I mean, completely wrong. I mean, an entire connector, not one color matches on the diagram. So you wind up having to do pin count, and it's just, give me a factory diagram and leave me alone. Information wise, some guys find it easier, but I've never. So, personal preference. I'm not a big fan of Mitchell. Bill, that is actually not my. If I could think, that the Matco scanner is actually Bam Bam's, not mine. I only have an Autel, the OTC, and the Snap-on. He has not gotten any add-ons to it. A guy I used to work with did the scope add-on and the video scope, and I was less impressed with it so far as the software. It seemed really clunky, and Keith is giving advice on a flasher, which J25 device, which is a rebranded DrewTech. Talking too much, my cigar is going out. Well, that's interesting, Benny. I'll look forward to it. Nice, Ray. And like I said, I billed 10 hours today. A lot of BS. Yeah, Autel's freaking great. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Gas station cigars, yeah. Bill, fleet repair, it's a good way to make money. I mean, make a living. I mean, depending on the shop you go to, they might have good benefits. Definitely steady pay, overtime. It's a good option. I mean, it's it's a good way to move your career. Quinn, my absolute favorite cigar to smoke would be a Padron 1926 80 year in Maduro. Expensive though, so I don't smoke them very often. Hey, Peekaboo. Yeah, long filler only. Dan, I don't drink beer. I only drink bourbon and scotch. But it's a weekday, so we'll stick to the soft stuff. Coca-Cola, come on, sponsor me. Big Head is asking, why do they call it a Winador? My video that went live last night, because it is a converted. Originally, they were wine fridges, and so they started making them into Winadors. Basically, they take a wine fridge, plug off the vent, and turn it into a humidor. So they started calling them Winadors. Wine/humidor. They actually have combination humidor and wine coolers, wine fridges. Angry Yoda Tech, we have a Cardac M. We do a fair amount of programming and updating. The current model Snap-on J-Box is a rebadged DrewTech. So, but I have not used my Veris at all ever for programming. We have dedicated tough books for it. Peekaboo asks, oh, I think okay. Jumped around on comments and lost where I was. For regular repair information, AllData. For diagnostic information, Identifix. I like how they've got, like, you put in a code, it comes up with relevant TSBs, the wiring diagrams right there for the most part. But that's what I prefer. For like putting a water pump in, I go to AllData. For check engine light codes, I go to Identifix. Look at for TSBs, relevant information. They've got some good tests in there if you're willing to follow them and not just go down to the fixes. JC Superstar, yeah, we've gone through several lube techs. Oh, yeah, 40-inch will do you for a good long time there, Caden. Zach, you need to go pay Keith a visit. He does some interesting stuff. Hey, Kelly R. Bypass security system on a 99 Alero. I think Scanner Danner did a video on bypassing the pass lock system. I don't know if it was that year or not. Yeah, 84 is a big box. Hey, Badger. That sounds like a lot of fun there, Chad. Pete, I am smoking a Tatawahe, if I could get it on screen, Tatawahe Michael, which is part of the Monster series. He does a Monster every year now, so this was last year's. Yeah, this is where I live. I'm not that far south there, Keith. I don't get alligators up here. I'm in North Georgia, not South Georgia. SNA, AllData buys them from what I've been told, buys them and just, copies and pastes. So, yeah, Keith, OTC is very basic as far as their scan tool. Glenn, no, it's not. Al, I will say this, it does do the throttle body relearn really well on GM products, but there's a lot of stuff missing, and one of the big things that just irks me is you do a special test, no data PIDs. So like you're doing a evap test on a GM product, no pressure sensor, pressure sensor value, no voltage, nothing. So it's not going to get a great review when I finally get around to doing the review. So, okay, let me scroll back up again. Hey, Nick. Matt, I am at my house. This is my backyard, not at the shop. And yes, I have hair. CarMax is a really good company as long as you follow their rules to the T. The only thing you got to be careful about is any gray area with them can get you fired. So be careful on that. But other than that, they're a great company. Carson, I guess if the right opportunity came along to be a full-time teacher in my later years, maybe. I'm not real big on teaching basics. You know, it kind of bores me, so we'll see what happens. Kevin, yeah, listen to Keith. Go watch Keith Perkins' channel after the live stream. Oh, that sucks, Badger. I saw your post on Facebook and Instagram. I get old cars. You gotta love them. Aaron, what was the junkiest car you've had to work on recently? That would be today. 2000 Saturn SL, whatever the heck, piece of junk. Tore up. Brake lights didn't work. Check engine light on. It's just a pile of junk. I mean, it's just dragged out. Blown fuse for the brake lights. Hopefully I got that fixed. It kind of quit doing it, so I'm not sure if I fixed it by unplugging the rear tail light or there's a short, but it stopped doing it. So I spent most of the day with the brake lights on, jiggling harnesses. So hopefully it was just the passenger side or driver's side tail light assembly that was causing it to blow, because the socket was all messed up and kept grounding out. So yeah, I heard about the woman shooter at YouTube. What's up, KW Mike? Yeah, Keith, I'm running behind. I'm in Georgia, and sun is setting behind me. Easy to get in trouble there, Ricardo. It can be hard, Al. I mean, finding a tech it can be very hard. Brent, yeah, 10 hours. Very common at the shop. I mean, our lube tech can turn 8 in a day easy. Not always, but we generally do at least, everybody in the shop usually does about 50 hours a week, at least. Yeah, Johnny, Identifix is going to be missing a lot of that kind of stuff. Caden, yes, the Bel Air had ball bearing slides. Glenn, no, my wife does not let me smoke in the house. Actually, Keith, the Evolve is actually pretty quick now. With the current updates, it generally gets in there pretty quick. Thanks, Pete. I've seen it. I have not experienced it. Big head, I'm not that big. I'm 5'11". I'm not an NFL lineman by any stretch of the imagination. Let me move my. Uh, Jovan, have not used AllData's Live Tech Assist. Other guys in the shop have used Identifix's help setup. Nothing else. I got Keith's cell phone number, so I can call him if I get really stuck. But no, I really have never used those. But the Identifix the help setup with Identifix has helped some other techs I know. What up, Big Daddy Pat? Yeah. This one definitely been run through the ringer. Keith owns a van and helps a lot of shops. Roadrunner M, I have no earthly idea about windshield replacements. When we need a windshield, we call a local guy. We don't use the big companies, but I don't know how many companies are out there or any of that stuff. Cammy P, how did you go from working on medium-duty trucks to being an auto tech? Good question. When I was younger, I got kind of roped into working on my dad's garbage trucks and wound up doing that for a living for a good long time. And when the company was sold, I needed a job, and I went looking for a similar job. My education was actually in automotive, but I got pushed into the truck side of it, and nobody would pay anything. Around here locally, it was like, what? No? I can go drive a dump truck with a CDL for that. As I had a CDL, Class B CDL at that point. So I applied to some auto repair shops, moved over to auto repair, and been there mostly since then. Rotten brake lines, we actually stock fittings and the NiCad nickel copper brake lines, but we don't do them very often. But we do get a bunch of transient cars from up north, so we have had to do brake line replacements. Diagnosed Dan, no, don't sing. I sing and dance for comic effect only. I play guitar. I'm the silent guy playing the guitar. Ron, it is 2000 and newer, not 2007. 2000 zeros. So that's that's the start point, and we don't go any older than that. Well, Talma chain wasn't rattling after I changed the oil, so I noted that in the ticket, so you're good. Caden M, my plan is to get a laptop for the shop, and on Thursday nights, at least a couple times a month, to do more live streams, because my laptop is rather expensive, editing laptop, and I can't lug it around. It's just too big, bulky, and expensive to take to the shop. So that's why I don't live stream as much, because I have to do it at the house. And the only reason I can do it really this week is my wife was nice enough and my kids aren't here because they're on spring break. All right, so Jeff L., do you think the YouTube generations hurt the car business and hurt the business less work now before YouTube? Couple things about that. It can hurt the shops because the customer's more informed. and you might not be able to bill as much because they see a YouTube video and they start, well, that guy did it in 30 minutes and, you're charging me 2 hours. Well, they don't see the edits in that video. But on the other side of it, those aren't your ideal customers. Your ideal customer is, here's my keys, fix it, that's it. So it's a balancing act nowadays. You have to deal with the YouTube people that, Google everything on their car, and, you're going to have to deal with it. It's a fact of life. The more information that's out there, the more you're going to have to deal with it. Sometimes it can suck. That's why I'm in the back, not in the front. So, yes and no. Yeah, Glenn, it'll be dark here in a minute. Remember, camera adds light. It's darker than it looks. Oh. No, not a bachelor. My wife's still here. Kids are gone, though. Oh, peekaboo, that sucks. Drew's Auto. I had one of those days many years ago, and actually did. I got completely pissed off at my wife, or not my wife, at my boss, and told my wife, find me another job. I'm about to, literally was about to load up my toolbox and quit that day. And so I wound up going to work for Motorvac, and then Challenger Lifts, and got fired from Challenger Lifts, so went back to the auto repair business. But that was more the people I worked for than the actual job. But yeah, Brian Alexander, no snow here. All right, let's see. Good one, Johnny. Yeah, we do get those too. Forgot about that, where they screw something up so bad you got to charge them extra to fix it. Yeah, they know things from Scotty Kilmer. Caden M, the hard-handled snap-on screwdrivers, I like them. I still own several. I don't use them much anymore. I bought the Matco set because I lost my favorite flathead screwdriver, a old Mac hard handle. Really sad about that. Yeah, that's diag work. I mean, it is. It's not. It's springtime in Georgia, and you do have to remember, I'm on a camera. It's going to pull as much light in as possible. It's getting kind of dark here, and I have the light on over there. Oh, trust me. I've met some really smart people that are dumb as a box of rocks. Brian Alexander, I don't. Unless something is flagrantly messed up, it's, all you can do is go, you need to go back and warranty this, or, this is broke and, showing pictures of it or whatever. I stay out of the sales end of it. I don't have the patience for dealing with, stupid customers. I have enough fun dealing with stupid technicians. Not really. My guys aren't that. My guys are good, by the way. Good luck with that, Glenn. I can't afford those tires. Jeff, do I think the gasoline engine will disappear? No. Do I think it will be primarily gone from current production? Definitely. That will happen. But, for right now, gasoline's here to stay for a while. Everyday fleet tech, I do suffer from some allergies. If you notice, my nose is a little stopped up, but not too bad. All four calipers were on backwards. That is classic. Oh, I do. Guess my Geek Squad a lot similar, yeah. Oh, my brother does IT, and trust me, I've heard stories. Kevin, mobile mechanics, as far as guys coming to your house to fix cars, there's always going to be a market for that as long as it's allowed in your area. If you're talking mobile diagnostics, for sure. As complexity continues, guys like Keith are going to be in high demand. I mean, ask Keith. He can't keep up. Drew's Auto, yes, I heard about the YouTube corporate shooting today. K. Kovler 1. Do you know or have you ever met Sam Mamolo? He actually lives right here in Douglas County. I have not met him formally. I have seen him a few times, but actually never met him. But yeah, he does live here in Douglas County. What up, J Creep 13? Galveston, Texas. My wife's from San Antonio. Have you seen any issues on the newer Subarus? Yeah, they still do everything the old ones do. Oil control issues on the VVTs. Peekaboo. Aaron, by the way, we haven't seen a whole lot of the newer Subarus, but the ones we've had have had similar problems. Peekaboo, we actually had a car that we did brake lines on the front, and when tech was backing it out, it blew the rear lines. Colonel Panic, thank you very much. Let's see if I can do that. Wait here, I'll just do this. Is that better? Let's see here. Tunnel Rat. Tunnel Rat, I guess you're talking about getting back in the business. Depending on your experience and whether or not you can get hired, I mean, if you've got the basic knowledge, it shouldn't be too hard to get back in the industry. You're just going to have to learn the updated stuff. Most tech schools are going to teach you the basics. So I don't know if as long as you remember all the basics, if it would make sense to go back to school for a piece of paper. Robert, hope that helps. Take the logo away. All right, let's see. I keep getting behind on comments. One of my best friends from high school is your Matco dealer. Yep, that'd be Robbie. Robbie's the guy that sold me the Revel X. He's a cool dude. He takes great care of us. He's bought us many, many pizzas for buying toolboxes. Yeah, Grease Monkey Society, I don't deal with customers. I mean, I stay in the back. Yeah, I mean, Big Head, yeah, they're still on forums. Trust me, I mean, you can read some really interesting stuff on forums. Still not doing it, Glenn. Drew's Auto, I have no idea about what you're talking about with Tesla and NASCAR. Not a sponsor, but I'd like them to be. Let's see. Let's keep moving. Yeah, electric's going to be a big thing. Cool, David. Yeah, I'm in Douglas County here on the west side of Atlanta. Knipex. Big Mike Knipex. German made, the best. 50 years from now, Robert Waters, I will probably be dead. Not likely I'm going to live to, 90. Have I ever thought about being a fleet tech, everyday fleet tech? I actually was a fleet tech at a flat rate shop that was fleet. We did a lot of Atlanta fleets here in Atlanta. We worked on several news vehicles, bunch of different plumbing companies, and basically did fleet for a year. Made good money there. The management sucked is why I left. Do you think of Lubra Molly? Lubra Molly is some great stuff. I haven't specifically used their fuel injector cleaner, but they make good stuff. Alternative fuel is coming. There's no way around it, Dirty Dan. Dealers will hire anybody. Not always. There's like a Ford dealer here. They will not touch you for any position unless you have Ford certifications. I am drinking Coke Zero. Brian, How to Automotive in the house. How's it going? Are there any Sears Auto Centers near me? Yeah, at the mall over there. Several miles. They are stupid expensive. They are as expensive as any of the dealers in my area. I don't know why anybody would go to them for really bad repairs. But cool, Johnny. Semi-deeps are the way to go. Ivor, smoke cigars. I am 43. Caden asked how old I am. I'm 43. Hey, Racer. Hey, Jacob. Ken Smith, aren't you self-employed? Tunnel Rat, thank you very much. Yeah, Sears is probably going to close at some point. Autonomous cars. Actually, when I was at TST, Chris Chesney, the director of CarQuest Training Institute, did a whole presentation on the future of the auto industry, and it's still a very long ways out for the average consumer to have an autonomous car. Autonomous features are hard coming fast, but fully autonomous cars are a long way off before they come to the general public. Nono Labs, how's it going? Oh yeah, Brian, you're out there in California. Drive safe. Jeff L, probably not. I mean, flight rate's flight rate. Don Quixote, that's going to be hard. You need time on cars to do it. I mean, that's how you learn. You got to get seat time diagnosing cars. Love notifications on my computer. Pep Boy stories. I've told this one before, but we had a car come in, complain of intermittent no starter. Pep Boys put 2 starters on it. It's a Honda under the intake. So it clicks every now and then or doesn't do anything. So pull the intake off, and they took the little plug-on wire for the starter solenoid. They just apparently ripped it off, and rather than put an end on it, they just put the wire in the hole. So it was just barely making contact. So instead of putting a starter on it, I put a spade connector on it. It was fixed. Yeah. Imagine that. Crime in Macon. Never heard of that. Yeah, Ken, CTI does have some great training. I know several of their instructors, and they do great classes. Chris Romans, thank you very much. I used it on one job and haven't touched it since. I haven't really had a whole lot of need for it, but it did good when I used it. So, yeah. Self-driving cars kill somebody and they get sued. They'll stop that. Kelly, I kind of got up at during the part. Kelly was at TST when Bernie came on and was talking bit rate and all that stuff. I got up and went outside and smoked a cigar. I wasn't going to sit there and fall asleep because I would have. I'm glad you enjoyed the sticker. Hello, Tracy from Michigan. Paul and Erico are awesome. A lot of dealer techs don't need them. They just shotgun parts. That's one of the problems with some of the dealer techs. Not picking on dealer techs. There's great dealer techs out there, but a lot of them just get so jaded they just chuck parts. Would you recommend an independent or a dealer for a first-time apprentice? I would not care about whether it's a dealer or an independent. I would care more about how much they're going to nurture you as a technician. The shop you go into needs to understand that you are a beginning technician and they need to have somebody there to help you. That's the biggest thing. What support structure are they going to have? you know, where you go to work is immaterial. How well they support you is what matters. Redback boots, Ivor is what I wear. I've had good luck with them so far. Hey, Elaine. My daughter's in the chat. Thank you very much, Glenn. Fleets are very different. Everyday fleet tech fleets are very different. I mean, a lot of fleets went to natural gas and CNG and all that when nobody else was. The bamboo socks, I've tried them. That's who makes them for Matco. They are very good, but they're slow to dry. But the Matco bamboo socks, they're nice. Big head, yeah. They'll hire anybody at a chain store most of the time. Pete, go enjoy dinner. Yeah, they work. Jason, they work. One works on diesel, the other works on gasoline engines for the most part. Depending on some shops won't touch diesel, other shops will. I've worked on many diesels, but most shops tend to stay away from diesels. So a diesel guy is going to work on diesels. Like at the fleet shop I was talking about earlier, they had 2 dedicated diesel guys. And they worked on all the Power Strokes all the way up to the, box trucks. Joe Van, that's very cool. I mean, a lot of chain stores aren't like that. Yeah. Good night, SNA Auto. By the way, check out his channel. Really smart guy. He's friends with Keith, so you know he's puts out good videos. Yep, Benny, Redbacks. That sucks, Don Quixote. I mean, you got to just keep bugging him. Ivor 92975, not where I work now. The fleet shop I worked on, we worked on Georgia Tech vehicles and University of Georgia vehicles. So yes, I've gotten to play in a cop car. James Danner, I'm subscribed to James Danner. He hasn't put out videos in a long time. It's kind of pissing me off. But yes, I thoroughly enjoy James Danner. You can make a lot of money on the Power Strokes there, Ken. What up, the Auto Tech? Keith Perkins. I actually answered this question not too long ago. Christian Brothers Automotive franchise. The company itself is great. They've got great support, great training, great access to equipment. The sticking point is their franchises. So the individual stores can kind of, be great or suck. So they've got a great support structure. It just comes down to the individual stores, whether it's a good place to work or not. But the company is very up to date on what needs to be done. Caden M, have I ever owned a Honda? Well, technically, I still never have. My daughter's car is a Honda Accord V6. Have you heard about roadside assistance programs at dealerships? Not specifically GM dealerships, but yeah, we see the courtesy van from Mercedes-Benz all the time because the dealer's right down the road from the shop. Michael Jones, hey, thank you very much. Brian H, yes, Georgia Tech. They have a complete maintenance facility, staff, and all that. I put a engine in a square box Chevy. This was 4.5, 5 years ago. They put a new engine in that truck. They're still having people drive around in square box Chevy trucks. But yeah, Georgia Tech. Hey Perry. Perry, I'm smoking a Tatawahe Michael Monster Series. Yeah, Al James, I think he's got some. He's got a lot. He has a lot of foster children. That's why he's. I mean, life gets in the way of YouTube. No Labs, I appreciate it very much. Ivor, I have not listened to Under the Hood show. Yeah, Keith. I mean, Keith Perkins. I've working for Challenger Lifts. I dealt with the corporate side of it and the store side of it, and very, very, very different store to store. Alex M, I appreciate it very much. That's why I do this. KW Mike, have a good night. Oh, Perry, what's going on? Why are you stuck in the hospital? Talking too much. Ken, the shop I work at was almost a Christian Brothers till he found out their franchise fees. And then he was like, no. So, yeah, there's some advantages, but a lot of disadvantages. Let's see. Okay, Perry, let me know. Hope it's nothing serious. Don Quixote, an apprentice income, I can't answer. I don't even know. I don't know your area. I don't even know what an apprentice makes around my area, honestly. You know, I know what we pay at the shop, but it's not for an apprentice. It's for actual. What are your thoughts on? By the way, Glenn, I almost have a torch at the a welding torch. I've never been a fan of Greg Smith as far as the equipment end of it, their lifts. Being actually a former regional sales manager for a lift manufacturer, I would recommend highly that you get one that is ALI certified. That means it's been tested. And I can tell you right now, the testing they do is extensive and quite scary. Doing a drop test on 12,000 pounds, like a simulated hose rupture, and watching it come down until it hits the locks, that'll wake you up. I can tell you that. But, you know, I'm not going to say anything beyond that. I have no personal experience with Greg Smith. Yeah, Glenn, I love my Prometheus Magna T my wife got me for Christmas a few years ago. Ken, I appreciate that very much. Mohawk makes some great lifts. Johnny, I would not go into the tool business. I mean, I know many guys that make very good livings on the tool business, but I wouldn't do it. Too much time chasing money from deadbeat mechanics. Hey, 802 Diesel Crew. Can't say I've seen it. The single post mobile lift. I'm not a big fan of the mobile lifts. It's too iffy for me. Yeah, if you've got 10,000 pounds over your head, you want to make sure it's certified. Christopher Rickens, I love my Rebel X. Yep, keep bugging him, Don Quixote. That's all I can tell you to do. Peekaboo, what do you mean? Hey, Will, what's going on? Do you mean as far as equipment, updating the look of it? I'm outside, so no sweeping the humidors or the winadors. I'm smoking the Tatawahe Michael series out of the Monster series. This was last year's release. Rob B, just for the videos. Aaron, I know Glenn would say the Corvette because he owns one. The trucks are good. I know most GM products are really good if you take care of them. The problem is most people do not take care of them. You know, a lot of the issues with the timing chains on the 3.6 is lack of maintenance. But some design stuff too. I'd rather have asking about built-in boxes versus personal boxes. From a money standpoint, I'd rather have the built-in boxes. From the personality standpoint, I'd rather have a personal box. Joshua C., thanks for stopping by. Take care. Yep. $1.3 million miles. Trucks are a different breed. Lankar? Wow. It's barely just better than DOS if I remember right. Shop management software we use is RO Writer. Our repair order writer is basically, it's not cheap, but it is a great program. It's a little buggy at times, and it requires, if you have multiple workstations like we do. Every technician has a workstation. You need significant server capacity. Uh, you got to talk to them. You got to keep bugging them. I mean, that's it. I mean, they got to come off the wallet to update stuff. You know, I mean, you just got to keep bringing it up. Keep bringing it up. I mean, stuff's broke. It needs to be fixed or replaced. Fixed or replaced. Oil changes, J-Rod, are key with newer GMs with the correct Dexos oil. And I don't mean taking it 100, you know, I don't mean taking it, 17,000 miles before an oil change. Yeah, yeah, the bottle said so. Yeah, Erico also says everything's junk, so. Bus jockey, is that a mobile lift? Well, yeah. 25 years, Michael Jones. I've been a tech for 25 years. Eduardo Reyes. Hi. That's a loaded question. Ram trucks after 2010, they still have the same problems they've always had. Bad wiring, tip of modules, all that kind of stuff. The Hemis have their problems. The Cummins have their problems. Transmissions have problems. Cool. I'm not familiar with Bolton. Bus jockey, the mobile column lifts are not made by Challenger. They are made by Maha, and they are rebranded under Challenger. The new Ram looks cool. I have zero experience. I haven't sat in one or anything like that. Caden M, my first toolbox was a little Harbor Freight Husky red toolbox from Home Depot. No roller slides, nothing. I eventually wound up with a bottom box, a top box, another bottom box, an intermediate box, and a top box, and a third bottom box before I bought my Bel Air. Request an hour for Diag every time. If you ain't getting paid, you ain't getting paid. If you're on flat rate, you need to get paid for Diag. Challenger is owned by Snap-on, by the way. Thunder Nose 1, you gotta, excuse me, you gotta keep them honest. It's simple as that. If you're doing free work, they're gonna come to you for free work. Even if you're hourly and it doesn't matter, it will matter on your efficiency report. If they're not billing and it's not showing on your reports, it can affect your job. So it's really important. Yeah, Eagle lifts were absolute junk. So it's important that you make sure that you get flagged, even if you're hourly. If they start looking at your efficiency report and you're, billing, way less than you should, even though you're busy and doing stuff, you're not billing for it, it can affect you. Seven C Performance, very cool. I appreciate it. Snap-on owns several lift manufacturers, so Don Quixote, yes, we have. We had our, during the transition from when our old bottom guy on the totem pole left and the new guy, oil change stickers weren't ordered. Nobody told them they were on the last roll. So the boss said, until the new ones come in, we're not doing oil change stickers. He got a whole lot of pissed off people about that. Even though they had oil, resets and all that, they were still pissed off about not having oil change stickers. Aaron, I would hope they're good considering I use 2 of them every day. Yes, rotaries are very good lifts. Very good Thunder Nose. Cameron, Snap-on or Matco, whichever one you like. Quality-wise, they're about the same. I mean, there's really no big, drastic difference between them as far as quality. It's just what you like, what's going to work best for you, and how good your dealer is. And Mohawk is a good lift. Our policy at the shop is every car gets all fluids topped off, especially wiper fluid, and all tire pressure set. 802, have a good night. We have actually not seen the 3.5 water pump failures. We've seen some of the 1.4s fail, but none of the 3.5s. I know they're common. We just don't see many with that engine in them. We had a few. We get a few of the Ford trucks with the EcoBoost, but we haven't seen much in the way of water pumps failing. It needs cam seals? Probably not. It probably needs the head gaskets. If it's cam seals, it's easy. If it's the head gaskets, a little more involved. Johnny, if you're getting an in-ground, that one I would definitely go rotary. Rotary actually designed them. Challenger copied them. So the rotary does have some advantages over the Challengers on those. Sounds like you got a hard road ahead of you, Peekaboo. I'm not a diehard GM guy. I own, 2 of them, but I'm not a diehard Chevy guy. My last truck was a Ford. Truck before that was a Chevy. Whatever's going to work best for you, Thunder Nose. What up, Chris M? What works best for you? I mean, me personally, I'd probably go dealer, but that's just me. Yeah, look from the bottom, Jesse. Subarus all leak oil at the head gasket. Again, Thunder Nose, it's up to you, not me. What's going to work best for you? I'm a flat rate guy. That's why my channel name's Flat Rate Master. Whatever's going to work best for you. That's the most important thing, not what I think. If you're going to be more comfortable working in a salaried fleet shop, go there. Yeah, I've seen that a few times on different cars. I don't remember what it was, Jacob. I think one was a sticking relay on a Chrysler minivan. Uh, Johnny, I don't think I've ever seen a 1.6 Hyundai, so no tips on that one. Valve cover gasket on a 2008 128i. Pretty easy, I think. The only ones that suck on doing valve cover gaskets are the V8s. Starting out, yeah, Don Quixote, I do believe you would. Ivor, have a good night. Yeah, JC Superstars, that's my gravy too. The guys fight over BMWs. When we get them in the shop, they fight over them. Because they're willing to spend money on them, and they always need something. Chad 4X. What are you looking to get out of it? He wants that. He's a 10-year Mercedes dealer technician. Should I try independent? What are your goals? I mean, are you just kind of bored? Independent would be a great way to not be bored. Let me tell you. Money wise, probably not going to be a good move. Simply because you're not going to bill as many hours. But, you can make a lot of money on Mercedes-Benz at independent shops, but, you got to weigh it with that as it can vary, any job change is a job change. Do timing chains, tensioners, guides, and everything. If you're doing a cam swap, you need to do all that stuff and the phasers, or do the lockout phasers. To Josh Leviton. Cool, Lucas. I'm glad you enjoy the content. Boss Jockey, I'm going to do my best to go to Vision next year. I don't know if I will make it because I'm planning on going to England next year for vacation. So, hopefully. Does your shop have a high turnover for mechanics? We have in the past. Right now, we're pretty rock solid. So, have you seen carbon buildup issues on the new EcoBoost? Yes, I have. Haven't seen drivability complaints from them, but I did have a customer request carbon cleaning, and it was pretty well built up. Very little on the X5 diesel. We had one in the shop the other day, and the customer was not willing to spend money on it, so we got it out of there. What code was it? Depending on what BMW it is, the encoder motor can piss off a lot of components in the car and cause a lot of issues. Okay. You work on 2000 and older there, Johnny. Have a good night, Angry Yoda Tech. Eduardo, where you work is up to you and how you like it. A lot of guys love the day in, day out of doing the exact same thing over and over again at a dealership with a little different stuff thrown in every now and then. Other guys prefer the independent. It's going to be what you like. You know, both have pluses and minuses to them, and you just got to figure out what's going to work best for you. I don't blame you there. I mean, you don't get warranty pay at a dealership. I mean, at an independent, you just get customer pay. So I can understand that. Politics can always be interesting at a dealership. Dirty Dan, no, not a lot of diesels anymore. I used to work on a good bit of them, but not anymore. Peekaboo, our ROs, our computer. Everybody has a workstation in their bay, and everything's done on computer. We do not punch in and out on tickets. Nice, Bosborn. There's going to be very little cigar content other than, maybe some live streams. I've known some older guys that have come back into it or come into it, yes. Good point, Ken. Update the oil pump. Yeah, the encoder motor is a very common failure. Disconnect the battery and it kicks out. It's always fun. Lucas, we take him to a machine shop. Asking about surfacing heads. What up, Mike? Average car count, 20 a day, something like that, between 5 techs. Do I play HQ trivia? No. Fun. Caden M, I will be doing a tour of Andrew's Matco box in the future, and probably a tour cart of Josh's roll cart. Not much left in his toolbox since he got the roll cart, and Jesse's stuff is not interesting enough to see, and he's tore up his roll cart, so won't make a good video, and he'd get pissed at me if I try to do one. The John, I used to own my own shop. Got tired of not having money. Don't open one in a area that can't pay their bills. Let me just tell you that. If you want to open your own shop, go into an area that people got money. Fastest way to pay off the tool truck, stop buying stuff and pay them more than you're supposed to. Caden M, my boss's Snap-on itty-bitty little toolbox has nothing in it you want to see. It's not really interesting. A little bit of Craftsman stuff and random stuff. I mean, he's an engineer. My boss never did auto repair work at a shop. I mean, he's an engineer. He worked for Ford and Volvo. AVM, that's not a fun one to have ever. Best thing I can say is prove it, prove it, prove it. The best way, is either prove it or, you know, this is my best educated guess. Cover your ass, and you know, I don't take it home ever. Work stays at work and home stays at home. So, but that's a hard one. I mean, it's you're in a tough place when you're handed somebody else's fucked up mess. Well, if you're talking about the itty bitty little black snap on box, uh, that may be the box you're looking at. It's got a nice dent in it from Jesse, but we have only seen lately. We had a run of them for a while there. We saw a bunch of AFM issues. We had run recently on a G8. It's actually at the shop right now for some additional work. But we haven't seen a lot of the lifter failures on those lately. It is a big known issue. Hence the term change your freaking oil. But yeah, it's a known issue. No, I have not done a lot of timing belts lately. We haven't had a lot of timing belt stuff lately. It just uh, 6.0 I do not believe have the active lifters. The 5.3 has the active lifters. And the 4.8. Caden, it will be a good box. There's a good bit more room in there than a cart. So yeah, it'll be good for you. Our Michael Jones, our main supplier for shops is Worldpac. We have two warehouses that serve us, Norcross and Chambly, and basically we get deliveries every hour. So OE parts every hour. Yeah, I did a stretch of them, Ken, of timing belts, and then they kind of just dried up. It's like everything else. You know, you get a batch of something and then you don't do anything the same thing for a while. Yeah, Keith Perkins, that's what we do. Our labor rate is $19.99, and we charge $99 diagnostic. We still get paid the same. Yep, if the lifters get damaged. Good night, Don Quixote. Yeah, Mike, I could do V6 Hondas all day long and make buttloads of money. I'd be bored to death, but I'd make tons of money. No, I don't think V6s have them. Bus Jockey, the first half of his class was mind-numbingly boring. The second half was absolutely awesome. So, Mike Mitchell-Lair asked about why I like smoking cigars. The flavors, the relaxation, the ritual, something I enjoy. Yeah. 7C Performance asks, how many hours do I turn on a week? My average is, for last year, was 50 hours. That was for the entire year, was 50 hours. Somewhere between 50 and 55 hours on average. Cool, Racer. Michael Jones, our shop is located in Buckhead. So, Kevin, how's it going? We do a little bit of programming, not a bunch of it, but yeah, we do programming. I've not been there. Bus jockey, my wife understands, so. Yeah, the Centec heads, I think it was, Warfrederick. Joe Van, we sublet alignments to a local tire shop. Yeah, Castec heads, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes, Joseph, you want to buy that special tool so you never see that job again. Hence why I own a North Star water pump socket. Danny, have a good night. Racer, I'm not a big fan of tuners. If I was going to do a diesel tuner, I would go with Banks. Have a good night, Jesse. But a lot of the tuners just cause so many other problems. The new Milwaukee ratchets are holding up great. 0 problems, period. Fun. No, Michael Jones, I do not fight Spaghetti Junction. I live in a different part of town. I get to fight the connector, though. Bus jockey, no, I've not gotten a Pico yet. Had some expenses I wasn't expecting. Signed up for Auto Mechanica, which the classes are not free. They're $400 for the 3 days of any classes you want to take. And then, I don't know if you guys know, but Scott Brown of IATN left IATN and he started his own company called Diagnostic Network. And I'm a founding member of that network. And it was $200 I wasn't planning on spending. So, a little extra money out of the pocket. So, no Pico yet. I own Henry. Bus jockey, yeah, Keith asked me that a good bit. Do you own any Snap-on Comfort Grip ratchets? Yes, I own the 2 half-inch drive and some of the 1/4-inch stuff. Yeah, Keith Perkins, yes, I know. I want a Pico bad. All about money. Yeah, the show is free, but the classes are paid. Cameron, I have the 14.4 long ratchet, the one they just came out with. I have used it a little bit. Oh, the Bully Dog for monitoring? Yeah, that's no big deal. That's just all it is an OBD scanner basically. Yeah, Jacob, what's the saying? If you can't do it, teach. I don't know about the 200,000, but you know, yeah, I was surprised at that. That's what Keith kept saying. It's free. Okay, I'm like, I'm there. But yeah, they charge. I'm already registered. I've already paid for it. So yeah. Darren, I have opened my own shop. Some point in the future, I may open my own shop again, but not any time soon. Yeah, I bet that would be pretty damn cool. Impala, yeah, it's probably not going to work out well putting a junkyard one in. Your mileage is going to be pissed off. It may be. I'm not quite sure on a 12. Trying to think. Yeah, because that's in the BCM. Yeah, it would be plug and play. I think you'll be fine on that one. Well, Michael Jones, everybody gets ragged on in the shop. Hence why everybody has nicknames. But no, we're not ragging on you because you've got Harbor Freight. I don't. I as long as it gets the job done and you don't tear stuff up, use what you got. Have I ever done a North Star head gasket? Nope. When we got enough, when you start talking head bolt, redoing the threads in the block and all that, people that drive Cadillacs can't afford that. Okay. I mean, have not tried the Harbor Freight ratchets. They have come a long way. Harbor Freight has. Interesting. I know Pico has a great NVH kit. Hey, Dill. Look forward to meeting you, Perry. Smoking a cigar with you. Alrighty. Kevin, yes, yes, yes. Yeah, Big Ben. Dang. Wheel spacers, Dill, are okay in moderation and with high quality wheel spacers. Stupid wide ones, no. Ken, no, I would not. I would not give up all data for Identifix. We've gotten asked that question by the boss many times. No. You keep them both. 1776 Liberty, yes, I have messed around with Power Strokes, Duramaxes. Never got into NPRs. Have done the Volkswagen diesels. That's what I was thinking of. Dill, depends on the axles you got. CJ7 came with some pretty bad axles. If you've upgraded to like 4 9-inches, maybe, but everyone has a North Star story, yeah. Flat rate, my name is Michael. Later, Caden. Have a good night. Yeah, diag work. No, I've never had any trouble warranting tools, even stuff that was clearly abuse. Yeah, I would not. Those axles are pretty damn weak to begin with. You'll probably snap axles like crazy. Just adding that little bit of spacer. Ken, it does get expensive. Believe me, I know. What up, Jedi? 1776 Liberty. Personally, no. Josh in the shop has some Cornwell hardline tools. He likes them, but I have not personally used them. Yeah. Johnny, what do you use? Chilton? Ghost Legs, All Data has a DIY edition where it's per vehicle, but it's pretty cheap. So yeah, until they get the estimate. Weirdest thing? I'd have to think about that for a while. Okay, well, I've told this story many times, but we'll tell it again. I was not there, but a drugged out, naked guy did a Superman dive through one of the bay windows and attacked one of the techs that was there after hours. That's probably the weirdest thing that's happened. Then he ran out of the front door. I mean, after he tore up the liquor store next door and did a bunch of weird ass stuff. BB Industries has some good stuff on their site, but where was the shop I used to own? Here in where I live, Douglas County. Hit me up, Jedi. What Aggies are you referring to, by the way? Yes, Ghost Legs. BBB Industries has. You have to log in, and but yeah, they've got a lot of free wiring diagrams. Mountain wrenches are holding up great. Haven't broke one in a while, so. Cool, Jedi. My wife is from Texas. In fact, not too long ago, she was in San Antonio. Actually, right before I went to TST, she was in San Antonio. No, I do not. Just premium cigars. Thank you, Christopher. Cameron, have a good night. Well, guys, the cigar's down to the nub, so I'm gonna I'll answer this question. Most of our techs are ASC certified. 2 masters, some with just a couple. Cool, Ken Smith. Love the Winador. As long as you guys keep watching them, and as long as I'm still working as a tech. Cigar of the night, by the way, Bosborn, is Tatuaje Monster Series, the Michael. When I get some time, and I will do my best to post up it like I did tonight, so you guys will have some warnings. So thank you guys. Have a good night.